Hi everyone, my name is MWagner. I'm currently a business student studying a Master's of Business Administration at Bournemouth University out here in Dorset over in England. What I wanted to do today was just talk a little bit about the program as it sits so far after the first semester, talk about a couple of different opportunities we've had around personal and professional development, and then really kind of go over what my view of the program is in general. So first thing that I want to talk about was the process of getting over here, starting and kind of figuring out what Bournemouth University was and where I felt the Bournemouth Masters of Business Administration or MBA program really was. First is after reviewing and kind of looking online, looking at a couple of different options we had over here when I wanted to study an MBA, Bournemouth was an opportunity that I really liked because one, it was partnered with the CMI Chartered Management Institute, which was an important thing for me as I want to look and go into consultation in the future as being different accreditation, different memberships, and different opportunities that I have. One of the things so far that I've had and looked at over the CMI over the course of the semester is that they have a lot to offer, a lot of different opportunities, and it's up to me really more than anything to go about and kind of figure out my way through the CMI. Our program director is really good as she is able to help us with this CMI and the different options they have. They've got great databases, videos, blogs, journals, different things if you want to access those. It's a really great opportunity we have, and I think that's one of the things that has added the most value to my MBA, and one of the things that I think increases the cost a little bit more as well as you pay for membership, or it comes free as part of the tuition. But if they didn't have that, I assume the tuition should be a little bit less. Overall, when I look at a couple of different courses we have, one of the courses we have is called Personal and Professional Development. This course is designed and tailored around kind of who I am as an individual, what skills, knowledge, and traits I have, and then also what skills employers are looking for. This is the one where we go and we look at our CVs, our resumes, as we refer to them in the United States, and we look at kind of where we are and where we want to be. We do a couple different personality tests, a couple different skills assessments, and I really like that portion of it. It really tells me a little bit more about who I am and what I have to offer in the world when I go and I talk about an interview. It's going to be really helpful. One of the things we also focus on is going to external events. We've gone to an angel investor conference. We went to the London Business Show for small businesses and startups. I went to a human resources engagement seminar in London with a few of my other student members. We talked about finance and about corporate governance and about trustees and a lot of different things. So it was really interesting, but one of the things that I found most difficult about these external events that we're going to is kind of how to interact as a business student with people who are currently in the business. Especially for me coming from an international perspective, I don't really want to engage networking and say, hey, this is who I am, who are you, do the typical to and fro, because it really doesn't help me saying, hey, let's keep in contact, maybe you have a future job lined up for me or something like that. What I'm looking for is a little bit different in that I want to learn more about um, just business in general. Maybe the class is a little bit more important for me than going out to these networking events. The thing I like most about them is that it does help me learn how to network. Um, I think one of the things I would kind of hope for, and if you are planning on coming to the MBA program, you might want to do is kind of learn a little bit about how to network um, previous to coming. We don't discuss really much on how to network. We had one lecture called Brand You, which was kind of how we position ourselves and how we look at who we are and how we show that to someone else. But other than that, we haven't really been taught the different steps on how to network, and we don't really do many role plays. We don't do many networking things where we are taught by an instructor on, hey, this is how you can do it or something. I kind of wish we had that, but um, I don't expect that to change here in the future anytime soon. So if you are going to be in the business program, understand that's kind of where the networking process is. Other than that, as far as the courses are designed, One of the important things here is as far as the grading system is concerned. It's a lot different than if you are traveling from an international like the United States. It's not graded A, B, C, D, and there on a lot of it's graded on distinction, merit, um, and passing or failing, and kind of what that means to me is that no matter how hard you're trying and no matter how hard you really want to go after a particular grade or something, it's really important to develop and kind of get review from the professors um, as you're going through the process. If you're the type of person that writes your reports the day before, which is totally fine, there are a lot of people who do that, you're going to run into a lot of problems where you think you're creating something that is worth an A or maybe a B plus or maybe a B, but the professors here look at it a lot differently, and so you're going to be coming away with a much different score than what you might hope for. You'll still pass probably, but it's not going to be quite as good as you thought it was going to be. So my suggestion is to really talk with your professors as you're going through, kind of like what I was imagine a lot of the undergraduate courses that you're currently taking are. A lot of what's discussed in course is not particularly relevant to the specific assessments or assignments that you're going to be having. They talk about your assessments and they kind of build it up and up and up, but at the last day of class, you're expected to submit something, and you might not have talked about it in full, or you might not have talked about a lot of the aspects of it. And being part of the MBA program, you have to go out and you have to learn a lot. Part of the things that help me is we've had different lectures and workshops from our actual library support staff on how to use different resources, how to use the library, how to use different online tools that we have, different subscriptions that we have available to us, and as well different faculty and administration that we have to be able to use there as well. The library staff here is super good at helping with that, and I think pairing the library with the professors and with the lecturers is the only way to go about it, and the only way to really make sure that it is of use in the studies here. In the end, when we look at the different programs, we look at the different things over the first half of the year, I think the number one suggestions I would have to someone who is coming over from the United States is to be very, very patient. Um, Work hard, continue to get that education just as you want, but you really need to make sure you know kind of how you can handle stress, because the systems are so different. Everything is a lot more laid back here, but more than that, especially at Bournemouth University, um, not a lot of information is passed out right away. We've had, for example, some syllabus and assessment handbooks that have not been handed out till almost the end of the semester. When you submit an assessment or an exam, don't expect to get your grades back for a month or two maybe. And even then, there have been a couple times we've had to email the professors and say, hey, this is the submission date. I turned it in the program handbook. You said you were going to have it back to me by this date. That date's passed. I would like my grade. We had one in all of our courses. You kind of have two assessments. You have one right at the beginning of December or the end of November, and then the other one is either in mid-December or at the beginning of January. I didn't have any grade from the first portion of the first assessment before I submitted my second assessment or my second assignment. This was very frustrating to me because I didn't get any feedback. I didn't know if I was just fundamentally doing things wrong and able to change anything for the second assessment. But even discussing with my professors before, I said, hey, I really want to have this assignment back. I really want to know what my grade is so I can get some feedback. And they just didn't have it. They weren't able to provide that for me at that time, and there's nothing you can do about it. So really important is that you talk with your professor as you're getting things done. You don't wait for them to give you feedback. You have to go ask them for it, and you kind of have to bother them before they're going to give that to you. You kind of have to really get in and work hard for it. And I think that's important on a business level and going forward as an MBA student is because not everything comes easy, and really you have to figure out what you want and what you're going to define yourself as And these are just different ways to look at it as opportunities, right? I have two options. I can either be super frustrated and upset at what is happening and where I sit, or I can just kind of say, hey, what do I want to do? Where do I want to be, and how can I use every opportunity? One of the things that professor suggested at the very beginning is to write a reflective journal as to what I want to get from the program, where I am in the program, and then as I'm going forward, how I'm handling it. And that's been really helpful. So one of the things that I would suggest, if you are doing an MBA program here at Bournemouth University, is you do the exact same thing. The professors are genuinely nice people who want to help. A lot of times they don't understand what you're saying or what you're looking for, and so you have to go into a lot more detail, have a lot more patience than probably typically expected. Um, there's a lot of academics here, not a lot of real world kind of application stuff that you're going to be talking about or experiencing. And so that is also a very different aspect than I was expecting when I looked at the different options for MBA programs. This is a very academic and research based institution, and in the end, that's what I want to do. So that's why I'm here. But if you are looking for the opportunity to go out and get some more real world business professionals, someone who's been in the industry for 30 or 40 years and now teaching, we haven't had any lectures really like that before. We've had a lot more academics in kind of the beginnings of their career. One individual, John, super great professor. He is in the later stages of his career, and the difference between him and some of our new professors is just astounding. So know that you're going to have a mix of professors, but over here there's a lot more kind of beginning of their career professors rather than late and business professionals, as I would describe them. So in the end, I think the Bournemouth MBA has its unique opportunities and its unique potentials. Like I said, the personal and professional development class has ups and downs. Really helped me know who I am and kind of where I sit moving forward. But there's not a lot of focus on how to network or how to gain key skills. It's kind of a baptism by fire. And if that's what you're looking for, if that's what you want to be utilizing and skills developing as you're moving forward, I suggest the Bournemouth MBA as an opportunity. You will get frustrated, you will get stressed, but I feel like that's the same regardless of the masters and wherever you are. So if this is an opportunity, additionally, feel free to reach out as I will be an alumni, Bournemouth MBA 2018 graduating. So thank you. Hope you all enjoyed the video and enjoy the rest of your day.